Hello, everyone. Welcome to the HL7 open source tooling series. The purpose of this series is to create awareness and highlight communities of practice for open, modifiable tools that FHIR standards developers and implementers can adapt to their context. Today, we'll share with you smart health cards and links and some work from the Commons Project. So I introduce to you Patrick Carter from the Commons Project.
That was fantastic overview for smart health cards and smart health links. What I thought I would do today is kind of walk you through the CommonHealth application, which is I work for the Commons Project Foundation, which is a nonprofit, and we build technical solutions that help patients access and manage and share not only their clinical, but their insurance, their device, and their wearable data. And so the CommonHealth Android application is our flagship application, as Josh mentioned earlier, that allows patients and families to manage that. So I thought I would demonstrate. Let me just see if I can share screen here. Thought I'd demonstrate a few use cases and walk you through those. So the first one is utilizing the digital insurance cards. For those of you who are aware, the Karen IG was updated this year to include digital insurance cards as smart health links that can refer back to a smart health card, a FHIR bundle, or even an API endpoint. And in the CommonHealth app, we've integrated this technology, and I'll walk you through that, where patients can bring in and store that smart health link that references back either, like I said, a card, a payload, or an API endpoint. Patients can then save that to their Samsung or their Google Wallet, or just keep it in the CommonHealth application. And then what's really great is they can share that, and they can share it as a QR code, or as Josh mentioned with the Smart Health link, it's a URL. And so they can easily send that URL through any modality that they would like, be it WhatsApp or a text message, or they can upload it into their patient portal kind of as a pre-check-in process. So lots of use cases there. And then providers for the front office staff makes it very simple and easy with smart health links to just scan with a web camera. And I'll show you that today, where they can just scan that QR code that's in the CommonHealth application, and it immediately provides in our open source viewer a view of that insurance information. And so without further ado, I will go ahead and show you that feature. So this is the CommonHealth application. I'm showing you Addie Tremblay here, who manages her father Abdul as well as her daughter Maria, their healthcare records. And so let's say that Addie has a new insurance provided, and so she wants to add that into her CommonHealth application. And so she simply can either be printed on a piece of paper sent from her insurance company, or emailed to her, or through her insurance beneficiary portal. She's able to pull up that QR code. And so all she has to do to scan that is just go to cards and then add a smart health card. We just remind the user that, yes, since you're managing multiple profiles, that this is for Addie. And so I hit yes. And then as Josh mentioned earlier in his demonstration, you can either scan the QR code, you can upload a file, you can add it directly from your provider if they're sending it through a patient access API, or you can copy and paste in a smart health link. But for today's demo, we'll just do a scan QR code. So I'm using my device, and I'm going to come up here if I can do that there, scan it, and you see, and this is obviously an example card, but let's say, yes, I want to add this card, and instantly I've got my insurance card. And if I want to investigate that a little further and see what's in that card, I've got a summary screen. I can literally show this QR code at a check-in kiosk at my healthcare provider. Or if I want to send it early as part of my check-in process, I can literally share it through any of my Android communication applications, or upload it through my patient portal. I can also, as I mentioned, save it to my Samsung wallet. I can also save it to my Google Wallet. And then if it's no longer applicable, I can delete that card. And then if I select view, what happens is I'm taken to our open source viewer. I'm going to toggle this view so that it's friendly for a mobile device. And you'll see I can actually see what's going on with this card, right? And so I can see all the information in there. And the nice thing about it being a smart health link is that it's up-to-date information in real time. So this makes it really nice to know, okay, well, how much do I have left in my deductible? What are my co-pays for the different services? And then if I am the healthcare provider, it's really easy for me to, let me go back. and open up a browser. And with any webcam, they can just go to the open source viewer. They can use their camera. And so I'm going to turn my camera on here. And then literally I scan this. There we go. I scan that, and immediately I have available, if I'm the front office staff, is this an active insurance card? What is the group number, the plan number, the RX pin, all of that information. What are the current deductibles that are available? By the way, this viewer is not only a web application that's available today, but it's also a Smart on FHIR provider app that can be embedded within the EHR as well. So lots of interesting opportunities there for the digital insurance card. And so next, Josh had mentioned and talked about international patient summaries, but I wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper on how we've integrated those into our application. And so with the CommonHealth application, you're able to connect to the patient access APIs for all of your healthcare providers and aggregate all of your clinical data. You're also able to connect to your insurance providers. For instance, if you happen to have Medicare, you're able to connect to your Medicare.gov account and bring in all of your explanation of benefits and coverage information into the CommonHealth application and store that there and have it readily available. But you're able to compile this information into an international patient summary. And it's not just for patients. We've expanded this service now for providers. So if a provider wants to share information, for instance, an after visit summary with their patients, they can do that. And I'll show you an example. As Josh mentioned, it can be passcode protected as well as have an expiration time. We keep it a very short expiration time, but users can also save it to their Samsung as well as their Google wallets. And then again, they can use this viewer that I just showed you to view the Smart Health or the International Patient Summary. Sorry. And then we also have, and I forgot to mention too, with the digital insurance card, the CommonHealth application SDK. So any Android developers can pull in either the digital insurance card previously, or they can pull an IPS in to their application as well. So let me show you the international patient summary. So again, I'm Addie, but I'm managing my father. And let's say there's different use cases for this, but a great use case is, let's say that you're going to be traveling and you're going to be traveling internationally and you want to have all your healthcare information easily available for going into an urgent care or to an emergency room so that they can have all the information about you, including your medications and your allergies. And so I have already, as you can tell here, linked to this account with the Patient Access API for Medicare as well as for the Smart IT Sandbox. And so if I go into my records and I select share my clinical summary, we explain, and I won't go into detail, but we explain what is a clinical summary as far as it being the international patient summary, and we have links to that as well. How's the data protected, as well as how you can share this once you've created that clinical summary. And so we hit next. And then I'm able to select what I want to share, right? So for instance, if I'm going to be going overseas, yep, I want them to have all my information. Or say I just want to share my immunizations. Let's say I'm managing my child and they're going to soccer camp and all the soccer camp really requires are immunizations. I can deselect everything except for immunizations. But I'm just going to hit next. And then I'm going to give it a title. And let's just say that this is going to be my Europe trip. And then I'm going to enter a passcode, and just for the sake of brevity so that I can remember it, we'll just make it a very simple passcode. And then let's say that we're going to do 72 hours on that. And so I create my clinical summary, and right now on device, it's creating and encrypting that clinical summary, and now it's made available for the user. And so if I select on that clinical summary, I can save it to my Samsung wallet, I can save it to my Google wallet, and then share it out of those wallets. I also can display that QR code. And so let me show you, if I happen to walk into an urgent care and I want to, have this information made readily available for that healthcare provider, I can easily do so. And the provider, all they need is an internet connected device in order to view this. And so if I go to my internet browser, and I'll just turn my camera on here. It's easier if I turn my camera on, but I don't necessarily need this. It as part of the Smart Health links, it will fix as a prefix to that Smart Health link, the actual viewer application. So literally I could scan this with my iPhone or just a web camera. I don't need to go to any software, and it will open up this viewer application. And so let's say I'm going to use my camera. And so I'm going to, again, select this IPS. There we go. and it's passcode protected. So I need to give that healthcare provider my passcode. So I give them my passcode. They enter it in on the application, and there you go. I've got all of my immunizations and procedures, all the information that I've got stored in my CommonHealth account is now readily available. And then there's also a provenance section so you know where this information came from. And if I want to, I can save it as a PDF. Let's say I'm a healthcare provider and I want to have this record as part and enter it, scan it into the electronic health record system. I can do so. Again, this is a Smart on FHIR provider launch application, so you can actually integrate in the source data. And if you look, I can select the source, and it's the IPS FHIR bundle. And I can also save it as a FHIR as well. And then also for IPS, let's say, for instance, as I mentioned before, as I mentioned before, that healthcare providers can send after visit summaries to or send any information to their patients. And so this is an example of a synthetic patient data that was sent, and I utilized one of the IPSs that was available in the IPS repository on GitHub as an example. But providers can send this as an after visit summary where patients can either just click on the view summary, and it's passcode protected, and they can have that prearranged passcode if they want, or they don't have to passcode protect it, whatever they feel is most appropriate. There's a link that you can literally copy and share that link, or you can scan this QR code. And so let's say I'm just going to view this summary. Again, since this is prefixed with the viewer up here, I'm taken to the open source viewer, and then I've got a prearranged passcode that I've set. And if I hit submit, I can now view this data, right, from my healthcare provider. But let's say that I want to bring this into my CommonHealth application. I can either copy and paste this in, or very easily, I can just scan the QR code. So let me slide this over to the right a little bit, make a little room so we can see this. And let's say that this is going to be for, let's say that's for Maria. And so if I go into Maria's account and I select cards, and I want to ingest this international patient summary, we just make sure that we know that we're doing it for Maria. I hit yes. Then I'm going to scan that QR code. And there I'm selected to enter that passcode. So I'll enter the passcode. And there you have it. I've now got the option to enter this information. And not only am I storing this international patient summary as a card that I can further share, but I'm also adding this to my data. So if I want to add the card and records, I can add that. And now that information is being not only added to, or not only, as I mentioned, added as a Smart Health Link card within the application, but it's also integrating into my medical record and adding to my health information. And so that is the international patient summary. And then, as Josh mentioned earlier, we originally started the Smart Health cards around the COVID vaccination, as well as test results as Smart Health cards. But we further extended that now with Smart Health Links to do longitudinal immunizations. And so we developed, as I mentioned, that open source viewer application, Docket Care, has taken advantage of that and is utilizing that as well as the viewer for their clients. And so their healthcare immunization registries in Alaska, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Maine, Minnesota, and New Jersey are all issuing longitudinal immunizations with Docket as Smart Health Links that are passcode protected. Also, New York City is issuing longitudinal immunizations as Smart Health cards. And so we built out the ability to bring in that longitudinal information as well. And again, keeping it very simple, you can import it into your CommonHealth app. You can save it to your Samsung or Google wallet to then share it through those wallets, or you can just keep it in the CommonHealth app itself. And then you can share that information, with the longitudinal information with anyone through the Smart Health Link process, including soccer camp, which is great. So let me just show you real quick how you do that. And so let's say, for instance, I've got, let me bring this off screen. I've got this example immunization. Let's say that this was sent to me by Alaska or whomever. This is Docket's actual sample application, and I want to add this. Let's say this is for Addie, and so I'm going to grab Addie on her profile. I'm literally going to select cards. I'm going to add a Smart Health card. Yes, I'm adding it for Addie. I'm going to scan that QR code, and I literally scan that. I enter the passcode. And there you have it. And I want to add this card. And again, obviously this is synthetic data, but this is a longitudinal immunization smart health link that points back to all of these immunizations, lifetime immunizations for this patient. And so I'll pause there, and we can answer any questions that have come up, but that is how the CommonHealth application utilizes, smart health cards and smart health links at this time through our CommonHealth application. So.
Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss the next one.